What's going on, everyone? It is Brucey Sprue, and I'm here today just with a quick guide. Gonna try to be as quick and comprehensive as possible for the new Rat King boss that was released yesterday. This is a boss that is mainly geared for level 60 to 90s combats, but you can see some endgame players coming in. There are some reasons why we would want to be here, and we'll get into those. But this video is primarily going to be geared towards med-level players who are getting into bossing, and I think this boss does a great job at introducing them to those type of mechanics that you'll see in the late game. So starting off, there are no hard requirements, I believe, for this boss here. For Scurrius the Rat King, I don't think there are any hard requirements. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments. But I believe you could come here at like combat level 3, and just attempt it. So I don't think there's any like hard restrictions preventing you from coming here. Nothing you need to complete or do. So where is Scurrius? He's in Varrock. He's in the sewers in Varrock. A very fitting place for a Rat King, which are real things in real life. You guys should look them up. They're abominable. They're literally fascinating abominations where a bunch of rats get their tails stuck together. They pretty much die like that. They're disgusting. But they're fascinating. I'm really glad one came into the game. But we're getting a little bit off topic. To get to him, Varrock, go to the Varrock sewers, go east. There's his lair. One important thing to note about his lair, it does have 2 modes. You can go in as a group or as a solo. The group fight, I do believe you get 40% extra XP. So I think that's only worth it if you have like, a group of low-level players, you're on a quiet world, and that you're all new to bossing. That would be exceptional for you guys, because this is a level 200 boss with 500 health. Don't let that intimidate you. It's still a very easy encounter, but I think 4 level 60s coming here could have a really fun time doing group content. Other than that, I don't think there's any reason to do the mass or the group attempts here. I think you should just go and do it solo, and it doesn't cost anything. Just come here, click on private, you'll be in there solo. If you want to come with friends, I'd say find a quiet world, because mass is just not worth it in the big worlds. Only MVP gets a pet roll. I think only most damage gets, or first hit or something also gets a roll. It's very I would not do it. It's not worth it. So what we're doing for gear here, since this video is mostly for lower levels, I thought I'd just go with like a super easy setup. You can see this guy, level 85, he's still wearing Rune, so I'm glad that I made this decision of bringing Rune. But this, and let's see, if he doesn't even have a fire cape. Yep. So, and this is what I expected a lot of people would have for gear. Maybe barrels, gloves, dragon boots. If not, I just have trash white boots here. Ring and recoil. They may not have any of the DK rings yet. They may not have any, incredible amulets, occult, or anything like that. So amulet of glory it is. And then you may not even have a fire cape, which is totally fine. So just Arduin, pretend this is like an Arduin cloak 1. Okay, and I wasn't originally going to bring the barrels gloves, but I did. If you don't have those, your highest metal glove maybe, or just go without gloves. You should be totally fine. Just bring whatever the best gear you have is. I tried to kind of scale my stuff down to make it make sense for lower levels. So in terms of the weapons, you want to come in here and get your Scurrius spine as fast as you can. It's about a 1 in 30 drop rate, and combined with a rune mace at an anvil, you get the bone mace, which is about a dragon mace, and it is the second best weapon you can use here melee wise, apart from the scythe. The Scurrius spine mixed with a battle staff and 1,000 chaos runes and 35 crafting, I think, will get you the bone staff, which this thing is actually super nice. It does hold up to about 20,000 charges, and it is the best in slot weapon here, right behind the shadow, I believe. And the bone short bow, just take a Scurrius spine and combine that with a U short bow, and I think 35 fletching, and you now have the second best in slot weapon here behind, I believe, the blowpipe. Maybe the T-bow as well. But bottom line, come here with whatever you have and focus on getting one of these weapons first. They all do about the same damage. You can check my 100 melee kills on Scurrius video. You do get about 3k XP for whichever your preferred combat style is. And you do get about 10k GP per kill, and the kills are about a minute long, at least at my combats. So should be a bit different here now that I'm using lower gear. So if you want to check out, just exactly what you can expect for XP and GP, then go ahead and watch that video. Otherwise, we're going to get right into it here. I do believe this boss is just done so incredibly well. It does have everything you need to start learning how to PvP. He has range, melee, magic attacks. There are, movement mechanics. There's adds. He has a healing mechanic, and there are a couple things here that are a little bit forgiving for you that could make the fight a little bit easier. So when you get, I also won't be using any prayers besides the 43 protect from melee and below prayers. So when you get in here, you want to start doing melee on him right away. He's going to start meleeing you, and you can already see that there's going to be a debris falling from the ceiling. You'll have to dodge that. It does about 20 damage, and I think if you pray range, it does about 10. But you can't fully negate that. You can, however, fully negate his melee attacks, and you'll see his range and magic attacks here. At 80%, he will go and start to eat this cheese. He will no longer melee you while he's doing this, but he can send out, like you saw there, that was the range attack, and this was the mage attack. Range is green, mage is blue, and you just protect from those. Now he does have this ability here to summon adds. I like to get rid of them if he summons them early on pretty quickly, because they are just a nuisance, and they can hit through your prayer and give you a little bit of chip damage. It's especially concerning if you're like ranging or maging. And he will eat from 80% health. He'll either go to each of the 3 piles and then resume, or once you get him down to 30%, he will move back into the middle. Now he called rats again. I'm just going to get rid of these guys. You can see he's still meleeing me, which is why we want to keep that on. Once he hits 30%, though, he will no longer melee, and that will happen hopefully pretty soon. But it's just a matter of getting your prayers right, and it's a very nice and simple boss, guys. Got more falling debris we gotta just take a step to the side for. There it is again. And he should now be ready to, go into the middle. At this point, he's no longer gonna melee you. He's just gonna use the falling debris. He might summon his rats, and then he's gonna use just mage and melee attacks. So you don't need to worry about getting meleeed there. If he does kill or summon the rats on that last part, I would highly recommend just waiting for him to die before killing them, or you can kite them around him as well. So an interesting thing about this layer is there is food here. I will show you guys probably after this kill what that looks like, but it does heal you to full, so you do want to get your HP down absolutely as low as possible before you eat that, because it has a 10-minute cooldown for using it, but it will heal you from 1 HP to 99. So I think that's awesome. That's one of the things that helps make this place more forgiving. And another one is if you ever need to leave, you can quick escape, and you don't need to run to it. It will just teleport you out from no matter where you are in the layer, which I think that's awesome too. So if you're really getting into some damage here, you can just quick escape. And you can see the mage, melee, all very similar. If you want to check out my longer video, you do see you hit about on average a 30, which is nice. And I would say that range and mage are slightly easier because you don't need to follow Scurrius around at all, which is awesome. You can kind of just stay in the same spot and do your own thing, and he's not really gonna do too much. So we will start to take some chip damage from the rats here. We could pray melee, and then, if he uses another ability, switch, right, and flick. But not super worth it. I just wait until the boss has died to kill the rats afterwards. And you do have, it's like a 1 tick or less attack with the bone weapon specifically for rats, so there's no real delay. And that was mage, and then we'll just go into range here. So it's literally the same thing every time. You come in, you pray melee, you start attacking Scurrius. You dodge the ceiling debris. Once he gets down to 80% health, he's going to eat from his piles. And he'll either just continuously do that until he's eaten from all three, or until he gets down to 30% of his health. We'll just protect Mage from that. Same thing every time. As he eats, he can never melee you, so you can be a little bit heavy-handed on these prayers. He's going to come back for melee. I was a little slow there. That's okay. The wiki does recommend just keeping his keeping protect from melee on until 30%, because it has way higher of a chance to hit you than the range and mage attacks, but I don't think that's, I think it's easy enough to switch that you don't need to worry about it. I probably should have brought an Ava's device, actually. I didn't even think about that. You can see here, if I do get the rats like pretty early on, I just want to get them taken care of as quick as possible, because they will eat through your health, because they can do a bit of damage. You can also get them stuck behind Scurrius, as you see that one is. You can kite the rats. Yep, and here I'm just going to pray melee until I kill him, and then I will just take out the rest of the rats here. And that is it, guys. That's the boss. I mean, it's that simple. We got not incredible loot, rune full helm, death runes, and yeah, I think that was it. A little bit of cash. So yep, this is how the quick escape. You can just use that anywhere. Oh, I didn't even show you the food mechanic. We will go back in. I'll show you that real quick. But let's say, you know, you're here like me right now. We just did, you know, 3 kills and you're hurting. And you didn't bring food, or you needed some food or something. You could come in here. Oh, you can't do it in combat. That's right. Oh, I did eat from it. Never mind. I did show you guys that. Yeah, that's the boss, guys. It's super easy. I mean, it's just a matter of praying correctly. And that's pretty much it, and moving around. Those are the 2 main things, is praying and moving around. The food pile is super nice because the kills are about a minute long, so every 10 kills or so, you get to restore to full health. So I would definitely use that. And the quick escape is nice because I didn't really get to show it well, but you can leave the boss lair from like halfway in it. You'll just teleport out, so that's kind of a save too. But yeah, that's Scurrius, guys. We made about, I don't know, 35k, 40k-ish. So pretty on par with about 10k a kill. And yeah, the spines you get, you can also, once you get all the bone weapons, or if you just know you only want to use one, you can trade them into this historian here, and it gives you 5k combat XP in any combat skill except for prayer, so that's pretty nice too. And that's Scurrius, guys. I highly encourage everyone to get out here and do the boss. The bone weapons, I think, were done exceptionally well. I think the boss was done exceptionally well. You have, like I said earlier, movement mechanics. Every type of combat prayer needs to be used. You have ads that you have to deal with. It is a great boss, and the boss can heal too, so that's kind of like a little bit of a DPS check also. But that's Scurrius, guys. You can do whatever you mage, melee, range, kill him any way you want. About 3k XP a kill, 10k GP a kill, about a minute long kills. You can really stay here for a while. If you want to check that out, check out my loot from 100 Scurrius kills, melee only. And you can see just how long I was able to stay here. I did, I think, 40 kills with not even bringing food, just using the altar in there. Couple other things just to reiterate and note: mage and range is probably a little bit easier because you don't have to move around as much, but it does make you a little bit more susceptible to the ads. So just keep that in mind. And there's really no right or wrong way, I guess, to do this boss, guys. Come in here, learn how to do some PVM mechanics. Have fun doing it. I highly recommend med levels to come in with their friends. And for endgame players, kind of like myself, I'm not super endgame, but this is a great place to get experience. I mean, a kill a minute at 3k XP per kill. I got like 300k or 150k attack XP per hour yesterday just doing this boss, getting like 100 kills. So highly suggest you guys check out that video if you want like a really in-depth look of Scurrius, because I do say some other things. But that's it, guys. That's everything you need to know. And just absolute banger of a job by Jagex. Just a completely brilliant boss. Very glad they put it in the game. I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I think it does what it needs to do perfectly, allowing med levels, level 60 to 90s combats, to come and figure out how things work. How do you switch prayers? You know, how do you move around from falling debris on the ceiling? How do you deal with ads? You know, how do I, you know, manage all of that at once? But it's a forgiving boss. You can eat in there. You can escape immediately. You can do it with friends. Even the prayers you have a lot of time to react with. So I highly suggest everyone come here, give it a go, and, you know, maybe you get the pet like it seems like everyone else is getting also. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Mostly just geared at med levels, really getting into this boss and trying to see how it works. But highly recommend grabbing the bone weapons and then the best gear that you have on top of that. That's going to be your best chance. Absolutely. So that's it. That's it for this one. Thank you again to Jagex for this boss. I want to pull the pet so bad. It's probably my favorite pet. I just immediately in the game right now. Probably will be forever. Hunting it. Wish me luck. I wish you guys luck. Enjoy the new boss. Really have fun doing it. Have fun learning this. If you have not PVM'd before, or if you're very new, if your boss log's empty, come here and get some kills in. It's gonna boost your confidence. It's gonna boost your skills. It's gonna boost your bank. You cannot go wrong coming here, even as a late game player, because you have a pet chance, nice experience, and it's honestly just nice and relaxed at that point too. And it's quick. It's quick, guys. So that's it. That's everything I got for you. Thank you for tuning in. I will catch you guys in my next Nothing Special series video, which I did leak was 1K Vorcat. That's coming soon, so stay tuned for that. I appreciate you all, and take it easy. Peace.